Another thing I just learned about Islam that pissed me off. So before Islam, the tribe that controlled Mecca inside Arabia was called the Quraysh, right? And I asked myself this question. I asked myself, why would this tribe be the Prophet Muhammad's enemy when he was literally born in one of the clans of this tribe, okay? And I looked into the etymology of the word Quraysh. The word Quraysh stems from the Arabic word taqarush.
Yeah, no, that's not what it means, right? Go have a look at the definition again. Go look at the etymology again. Because Quraysh stems from the root word karasha. And that means to gather or to collect. Taqarush is linked to the word, but it doesn't stem from it. Okay, that's not the root word of Quraysh.
Before Islam, the Quraysh dominated trade between the Indian Ocean, the Mediterranean, and East Africa. They were wealthy and they were living in peace. Muhammad, who, as we know, was illiterate.
Again, no, the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family was not illiterate. Go look up the word ummi.
Came out of nowhere, decided he didn't like what was going on, decided he didn't like the fact that multiple gods and goddesses were being worshipped. And then he decided that everyone who disagreed with him was his enemy. And he legitimately spread Islam through violence.
Spread Islam through violence? Okay, let's have a look and see if our Prophet, peace be upon him, did spread the religion through violence. Quran chapter 2 verse 256, there is no compulsion in religion. Quran chapter 8 verse 61, O Prophet, if they incline to peace, then you incline to it. Quran chapter 88 verse 21 and 22, O Prophet, your duty is only to convey, not to compel. Your job isn't to convert them. There's no forced conversions in Islam. So instead of attacking Makkah, the Prophet, he signed a peace treaty with the disbelievers known as the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. And at the conquest of Makkah, when the Prophet conquered Makkah, he conquered it without shedding a single drop of blood. And he forgave and freed the people that oppressed and kicked him out of his hometown. This is a man who spread the religion through violence, yes? De Lacy O'Leary, a historian, said that Islam spread through violence and forced upon people is one of the most fantastically absurd myths. And he's not a Muslim. Thomas Carlyle, again a historian, a non-Muslim, once states, and he argues that Islam's success was due to conviction, not coercion. William Muir, again a non-Muslim historian, he states that the rapid spread of Islam was due to the simplicity of its doctrine, not violence. Another historian by the name of James, he says that people converted due to persuasion, not violence. And many Jews and Christians lived under the Prophet's rule for many centuries and under Muslim rules, and they were never forced to convert, ever. So many Jews and Christians lived in Medina under the rulership of the Prophet, and the Prophet said, if you don't want to convert, you don't have to. You want to carry on going to your churches and your synagogues to worship your God? Carry on. The Muslims will protect your places of worship, and they will protect your lives if you are ever in danger. This is a man who spread the entire religion by violence, yes?
There were many battles and many conflicts because of the Prophet Muhammad.
Every battle that our Prophet fought was a defensive one. He never fought a single offensive battle in his life. People waged war against him, he merely defended his religion.
Before that, all these tribes were focused on doing was trading, was opening up seaports in Gaza and Damascus to trade goods and services. They were peaceful tribesmen. They were wealthy tribesmen. They respected the earth that they lived on. They didn't try to shed blood in the name of God. It was peaceful.
So prior to the Prophet, peace be upon him and his family, there were no wars or no battles in Quraysh. Yeah, Quraysh were all peaceful, lovey-dovey, happy, living in a rainbow fantasy. Yeah? Okay, let's have a look. Prior to the Prophet, peace be upon him and his family, Quraysh had many wars. My uneducated sister. Go have a look. Look at the Fijr wars, the way Quraysh fought the Hawazin tribes. Look at the sub-clans within Quraysh that fought each other over trade caravans and custodianship of the house of God and even political prestige. Quraysh often fought with desert tribes, such as the Ghatafan, such as the Hawazin and the Hudayl, to try and dominate trade routes. And also Abraha came in the year of the elephant to attack Makkah. So there was wars happening in Quraysh before the Prophet came into this world.
So how is Islam the religion of peace when it literally started with one guy who was mad about what was going on? Where was the education and the certificates and the proof of this dude? How do we know he was actually talking to God?
His proof is through his miracles. His proof is the fact that he was a man who was receiving revelation and giving verses of the Quran that the people at the time couldn't comprehend. Allah said in the Quran, bring a verse like this if you can. There were many poets in Quraysh. None of them could bring a single verse as articulate as the Quran. So his proof was his miracles.